highlights of the match, the way the game developed. And at 6-4 at half-time, I dare say, or the early part, of course, there was this fracas. Now, would either of you gentlemen take responsibility for that? Roy, did you send out your players to fight?
No, mate, that's just a little bit of blood rushing, really. The players do that, you know.
Well, then it must have been Ron that sent his players out to fight.
No, Rex, it's a very emotional game, rugby league, and the players have been locked up in the dressing room for about an hour before the match, and they come out into the sunlight and they see the Christians on the other side of the ground, and they feel like doing something about it.
Yes, well, you know my theory on it. I'm not terribly concerned about it one way or the other, but that probably was the turning point early in the second half, Roy.
Yes, I was a bit worried, actually, just before half-time. Souths were getting on top. They'd gone from 4-0 down to leading us 6-4, and I would say that if the first half would have gone along another 5 minutes, they could well have scored.
There's a vital part here, I think, Roy.
Well, what was the error there, Ron? Did your fullback kicking to the open side of the bad pass from dummy half?
I think it was precipitated originally with the bad pass from dummy half, and then Bronco got the ball on the 6. More or less was obligated to get rid of it. Being a right foot kicker, it came off the inside of his boot and didn't get the result that he was looking for.
I make no bones about being a Craig Young admirer, Roy. I've always had a big deal of time for his football. I've thought the last couple of weeks he's come back towards the football that everybody knows he can play.
Yeah, he is. He's definitely playing the best football that he has. Well, probably since about 79. He's very, very strong in his defence, and he's very intelligent the way he's reading the attack.
Yeah, what did you tell your blokes at half-time when they were down 6-4?
Well, mainly the penalties. We were giving away some stupid penalties, and then I got on to the fact that our pattern, we'd left our pattern. We weren't playing the sort of football that we were playing in the first 20 minutes. So I told them to get back to their pattern and obviously to spin the ball as wide as possible and when we receive it from a kick.
Why do you think a team goes off its pattern? Is it because of the operations of the opposition or just shortcomings in the team?
I think our guys just thought that they had it won after that 4-0 lead and that they, you know, that it was just a matter of being out there.
Ron, any turning point as such that you could say that this was the moment when we lost the game?
I think probably that try when Johnson took the high ball and as soon as he hit the ground he turned and gave the ball to Morris who scored the runaway try. I think most of our chances went out the window at that stage, Rex.
A couple of things that came out of the game. I'd just like you to see this. I've got some very strong views on players. You watch Baker put up the bomb and then go down. I've often frequently been quoted as saying should have been put on a 402 for overacting. Look at the other shot and you'll see he was barely touched. And this is a part of rugby league now that irritates the bejeez out of me because it really is like a fighter taking a dive. Any comment?
I spoke to him about it. I said what happened. He said he got what he thought was an accidental arm across just below the jaw.
Well, it didn't show it as even touching him.
Doesn't look like it, but I can assure you he was a bit groggy. I'm not suggesting it was illegal. The fella tried to charge down the kick, I think, which is within the rules of the game.
Roy, can I ask you, do you think players in the 80s are too conscious of playing for penalties?
I think so, yeah. I think we'll see within the next 3 or 4 years with the Players Association becoming very active. I think they'll start moving in that direction, you know, that they don't give each other up unnecessarily.
Right. You would have been, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, I keep prefacing my remarks to you, you would have been happy or whatever, yeah. But you would have been happy with this tackle because it was a great welcome to Biles when he came on as a replacement, the Jarvis tackle.
Beauty, yeah, I think a good one of Craig Young's on Ziggy too.
That was a magnificent tackle in front of the stand on the men's side. And we couldn't finish any talk about this particular game without having a look at Johnson in action. He really is superb. There's Wynne using a little bit of, shall we say, zigzag running to protect him. And the second one is better. Not the massive pressure coming, but there was Ellison there, and the guy just never flinches. He's come on like Brentfall used to.
We've only had 2 tries against us from bombs this year, which is a damn good record.
So it is.
And yet the guy, Johnson, was being absolutely bagged by the media there a couple of years ago for his inability to take bombs.
Yeah, it's a case of give a dog a bad name. He had a bad game against Parramatta at Cumberland once, and he's had to pay the penance for it for about 4 or 5 years.
If you had the game to play again, Ron, your team had the game to play again, would there be any alteration in your preparation or your instructions?
Probably not, Rex. I think I don't think we played quite as well as we have been playing, but St George had a lot to do with that. We've got pretty much one pattern, and St George put us off it yesterday. I think if we're having the game to play again, I think we'd probably go through the same.